New video, short one, hopefully, about the Doepfer 188 BBD module. This is the 256 stages, so pretty short delay. I'm mainly interested in flanger, metallic kind of territories, but we'll also push it into its very noisy, proper BBD delay territories. So I took the liberty of making an entire row of BBD delay, digital delays, and other effects processors like phasers and distortion, and we'll try to run all these modules into each other, take pleasure in the feedback and feedback path each module offers, and just mainly see what kind of noise we can make with these few modules. I think it's going to be interesting, fun. We'll see. So this is the row module we're going to work with. Let's start from left to right. The multi-delay processor by Verbos Electronics, which, to be frank, I haven't used a lot recently. Not that I don't love it, but I don't know. It's been sitting in a drawer for far too long. A VCA by IntelliGel, which is always useful to tame feedback. We'll see if we need that later. LXD by Make Noise, which I intend to use more like a low-pass filter, because at the moment I don't have a filter module, or at least a small filter module. The Kaminiak by Chaos Devices, a beautiful phaser, which is also overdue for a solo demo. I've only been thinking about doing it for like 5 or 6 years. To stay within the Chaos Devices range, we have the Sarajevo, which is a BBD delay which already got its own demo. It's at the moment the delay I use the most. I really love its tone and sound, and yeah, my SM1 is pretty much always running through it. The 188-1 BBD module, which is the reason of the video, which is the module that Doepfer lent me. Then we have Ghost, which is mainly used in my live case, but actually I've been really surprised by this module and I really enjoy it. So it's been sitting in the case pretty much all the time recently. To finish off, we have the Amber. It's a bit off screen, but it's the Aircraft Design Amber. It's a new company. It's their first module. It's out of Ukraine. They sent this to me to review or test or try, but we're not going to go into too much details today with it. I just took it out of the box, so it wouldn't be fair to even talk about it more than that. Let's concentrate on the delays. So let's talk about the patch. I've made like a pre-basic patch. This is the sequence. I purposely left a lot of spaces in between these bursts of sequence using the loop nap, loop wake function of Pamela's Pro Workout. Absolutely game-changing feature for me. This is the main reason I upgraded from Pamela's new workout to Pamela's Pro Workout. Allows you to do this, basically have one loop playing. I set the loop nap to 4, so it's a 5 group of loops. There are 4 silent, 1 playing. So I've set up the patch. As you can see, there's a mold. So we have the output of the SM1 going into triplet, which is going to be used as a mixer and offset. The mixing part is the top 2 ones. So this is the raw signal from SM1. And then there's another signal, the voice signal, going into the BBD module. The reason is because this is an extremely noisy module. The clock of the delay is an oscillator which bleeds into the signal if you go to slower speeds. So we need to get rid of that, otherwise it's super annoying. And then we're going to go into full wet, taking the mix out, and now we have a delay. So you can already hear some sort of whine already with extremely short delays like this. So basically I'm mixing the wet signal and the dry signal in here, and I can have full control over the balance of the two. And if you go to shorter delays, like this, you can hear the clock whine. It's pretty obvious. And what if you don't want to hear this? Then you have to filter it. That's the main reason why I did this, is because otherwise you filter the whole sound, including the signal, the original signal, which you don't want something that's completely low pass. So how you do it is to take the mix out, put it into a filter. So we will use the 6 dB by make noise LXD, go back here, and we will use an offset to open that and use as a filter cutoff frequency knob. And here you can hear the delay with a lot less noise. And the lower the clock, the more audible the whine, the more you need to lower the low pass gate or the filter, the low pass filter. The feedback knob, pretty much this thing starts to oscillate past 4, 5. 5 is really critical point. So if you want to use this one, the 256 one as a delay, you really have to filter everything down a lot. You will have super dark delays. But basically the Sarajevo module does the same thing. It's just done automatically internally. Here you have to patch it manually. This is a very open-ended module. There's an open feedback path, which at first I thought that if you put the filter in the feedback path, it would filter the clock, but it's not the case. So you need to mix externally. Then you have, of course, several options to have modulation going on that feedback time, or delay clock, rather. We can use the LFO from Caminiac, conveniently located here. You can choose the polarity of the CV. I choose CV2 because CV2 has an attenuator. As you can hear, it's get quite crazy quite quickly. We can slightly hear the noise depending how old you are and how young your ears are. Then we will take the BBD out, straight output from the BBD, and we can put it through another delay. Let's put just a bit of reverb, and then we can tap this, because Sarajevo also has its own feedback path, so let's use that. When you get to that level of complexity, you have to be careful with the kind of settings you choose. It can quickly blossom into some crazy feedback. You just need to find the edge. Space to the affected signal. And then, because it's always fun to add more delays, we can go into the multi-delay to finish things off. This is sort of the master signal, if you want. I have a simple envelope coming from Pamela's workhouse here that will open more feedback. We have had a very static signal so far, but we can try to make something a bit more complicated, see how it reacts to that complex chain of events we have going on. Let's put a random LFO to the external modulation of Kameniak. See where it leads us. Kameniak can self-oscillate and make crazy sub-basses with the sine wave, depending on where the frequency is. But it can turn things super cosmic also pretty quickly. Let's give it even more space in between those sequence and leave the several delays, create something crazy. I think we can all agree that it saturates in a beautiful way. I think here it was mostly the stereo for the saturation, but the initial module giving character is the BBD module, the Doepfer. That metallic quality. Let's do something different with the feedback path. Here we just have the BBD module playing it by itself, and let's leave dangerously and plug Kameniak as feedback path. Seems like just a tiny bit of resonance is already a lot to handle. So now we just have Sarajevo at the end of the we have this one with the phaser in the feedback path and Sarajevo after. I love the effect Kameniak has on the feedback path, but it's quite powerful. Maybe if you have an extra attenuator on board to tame that. You can hear the resonance creating a huge boom somewhere. This one doesn't really do super short frequencies. It feels like drum and bass jungle sub bass assault. I think this would be a good one for the DNB heads. I wish I had Amen break on tap here. This you can easily do with the VCA, of course. It's always tempting to see how far you can let this go without proper annihilation of your system and ears.